But I want to keep us in Durban, and rubbish has been piling up across the city as an illegal strike by the Municipal Workers Union enters its second week. Samwu members demanding what they say needs to be pay parity with Ekurhuleni Municipality workers. And Newzroom Afrika's Nobuhle Modise joins me live to talk more about this. Nobuhle, good morning to you and welcome. We did hear from Salga that there might have been a misunderstanding around how pay is set, province to province, and there is some push towards creating some uniformity. Has that at all been a feature of how these negotiations are going forward and reaching a position where there can be a resolution and back to work for Samwu members?
You're right in posing that question, Iman. I mean, it's quite bizarre, actually, if we get into the nitty-gritties of what this is all about, because on last week, Tuesday, we saw COSATU come out, saying that they don't understand why the talks or negotiations have reached a stalemate. Also, talking about the fact that this strike is very crippling to Ekurhuleni residents. And then on Friday, we saw Samwu come out with a statement saying that they actually reached an understanding with the municipality. We saw in the statement them mentioning the fact that the South African National Civic Organization movement, as its alliance partner through COSATU, mediated, and they then found, some middle ground with the Ekurhuleni Municipality, saying that Ekurhuleni staff would then be moved to Category 10 as per their demands. And they also requested that workers get back to work, and saying that everything was done. I know talks took from about 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and they were fruitful. It was a beautiful statement on how negotiations went well and everything is well. Also, them asking workers to go back to work. But that is not the situation, and it's quite jarring because, as you've seen in the CBD this morning with my colleague Kariga Jagmahan, people just coming out to say, we haven't had electricity, we haven't had water, refuse hasn't been collected, and that's been the situation as it's week 2. And we shouldn't really be saying that the strike has entered week 2, considering the fact that Samwu has come out with a statement last week Friday saying that workers should go back to work and that they've come to an understanding with the Ekurhuleni Municipality. Now residents in Ekurhuleni are now finding themselves in a bit of a pickle where they have to now make sure that their own refuse is disposed of. We know that the Ekurhuleni Municipality has opened up landfill sites. They've extended the hours rather of landfill sites, and what we do know is that most people are using the services of independent contractors or even using their own bakkies, to dispose of their rubbish. And it's just a sad scene to see around the province, Durban, Ekurhuleni rather. And you'd remember that even when Samwu sent out that statement on Friday, what they were saying is that they're also acknowledging the fact that this particular strike was exacerbating, a situation that was already dire. You'd remember and recall that, the Ekurhuleni is already going through some sort of recovery from those April 2022 floods, the looting that took place in July 2021. So there's been a number of things that have been happening. You'd remember the sewage crisis. I mean, in December, it was a huge talking point where the beaches had to be shut down because of sewage spillage, because, some of the infrastructure hadn't been maintained, or some of it was damaged even more because of those floods. So these issues that are coming out of workers affiliated to Samwu and them just, sabotaging according to the municipality, them sabotaging services to the residents is just already exacerbating an already dire situation. So we've seen residents, just driving around here, just coming up here, we saw just piles of dirt outside different complexes, different residences where people are just, they don't know what to do. Those who have the means are taking their bakkies and going to those landfill sites that the municipality has extended the hours of, and some people are just letting their rubbish pile up. So, it's a terrible situation, and you find people in their respective WhatsApp groups, in their residential WhatsApp groups, just trying to find solutions to the problem and not wait for the municipality to say anything. We do know that tomorrow, though, the municipality is having another press briefing to update on the recovery plan. You'd recall last week, the mayor as well as the premier of the province, Nobuhle, gave us an update, telling us about those arrests that were made. We did see those people who were charged appearing in court as well last week. week, and they gave us a recovery plan. They told us that there'd be cleanups in town, which we did see, because if you do go into the CBD, before the occurrence of this morning, you would see that the piles of rubbish that were piling up were cleaned up. So now what you see are just scattered around. When you drive around residential areas, rather, you'd see rubbish just scattered everywhere, where those people don't know what to do with it. But in the CBD, where we saw those scenes where the workers who were affiliated to Samwu were destroying and pouring rubbish everywhere, those were cleared up. So now what we're seeing in and around residential areas is people just trying to find a way to make sure that they dispose of their rubbish by themselves.
So an entire, the citizenry really in the province left to their own devices, and it raises the question of who really is in charge. And Nobuhle, Modise just keep bringing us the very latest on the strike itself and what interventions are likely to happen, but also the recourse that citizens have, which seems to be none, because they've got to do things for themselves now.